It's me, Michelle, again. I am in my car again doing another chatty video because there are some things that I've been wanting to, share, get off my chest that I have recently learned. So, I have gone through a lot of things in my life, like everyone, like we all deal with stuff. And I have known that there's like a lot of issues that I need to deal with, and like I had like self-diagnosed myself with like some sort of depression, and I had heard about anxiety, but I thought like, oh, maybe I have like a little bit of it, but I think that's normal. Like I didn't really look into that. And so recently what I have learned is that I actually deal with a lot of anxiety and like some depression, like a little bit of depression, which was very interesting because it's like the complete opposite of what I thought. Like I went from thinking I had depression with a little bit of anxiety. Turns out I have anxiety with a little bit of depression. And I guess I just never really looked into anxiety and what it meant and what it was basically. But I have now learned that anxiety is just like, feeling anxious or having this fear of something. And through talking about this recently, I now know that I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to change. I don't really know how to deal with change in my life. I've gone through so much change in the last couple of years that I did not deal with it very well. I didn't deal with it like at all, really. So change is very hard for me, and it makes me worry and stress and just have a lot of problems managing it. So that is anxiety. That's why I always felt stress and just bad. I thought it was depression, but it was actually anxiety. So now that I know that, I can, deal with it. And when I was talking about this, I was telling the person how I don't really know how it came up, but we ended up talking about how I get so much comfort and like feel good from how do you say this? I know it in Spanish, but in English I never know how to pronounce it. Nostalgia. Nostalgia. But yeah, like everyone has like good feelings related to like things from their childhood and stuff like that. But I always felt like an extreme comfort with that, like more than usual. That's why I am always watching Grey's Anatomy. I freaking love that show, and it makes me feel good. And I had shared this post on Instagram that I found that said that a lot of people with anxiety, I don't know if it said anxiety or depression or whatever, but a lot of those people like to rewatch old childhood shows or whatnot because it makes them feel comfort, because they they've already seen it. They know what happens. Like, there's no sense of surprise or like something's gonna come at you out of nowhere. Like, you know what it is. You know you enjoy it, so it brings you comfort. I'm just rambling, obviously. I don't know if this is like cohesive and making sense, or like I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit, so I'm sorry. But so yes, I get a lot of comfort out of watching old shows like Grey's Anatomy. The big one when I was younger was Full House and Gilmore Girls. I freaking love those shows, but not only is it with TV shows and movies with me, it's also music. Like, I would say about 90% of the music that I listen to is older music. Like, I hardly listen to the radio and listen to new songs. I do, like, obviously I know some of the songs that are on the radio right now, especially because of TikTok. Like, that's how I learn about most of the new music nowadays. But I don't listen to that very often. I tend to always go back to like music from my childhood, music from like when I was in high school, or even just music from a couple years ago. And I don't know, I thought that was normal. Like, I always figured like, oh yeah, people like to listen to older music, but I didn't realize that it was kind of an extreme for me, that it was like basically all I'd listen to and basically all I watch was like older things. And it turns out, because like I didn't know I had anxiety, I was using all these older like forms of media to comfort myself, which is totally fine, and you can do that. It actually helps, like I said, comfort you when you're always constantly feeling stressed and anxious. But if you do it too much, like I did, like all the time, constantly, it actually kind of makes it worse, which is why I have gotten like worse and worse over time, because I didn't know what I had, and I didn't know that, you know, consuming too much of this comforting media and avoiding the problem was just making it worse. So now I'm still gonna watch Grey's Anatomy at night to like help me relax and go to sleep. I cannot give that up, especially right now. Right now I am like, I think I'm on season 7 or something, and it's like the heart of Mark Sloan and Lexi's relationship, and I love them so much. I freaking love Mark. Like, he is my ideal man, and I hope one day I have a Mark of my own, but I'm gonna continue with that, but minimize it. And as for music, which I listen to quite a bit, like I listen to music quite a lot, especially when I'm like working out, or if I go out on a walk, or when I'm driving. But I'm going to try and either listen to the radio, or I think I want to get into podcasts. People have always like mentioned so many podcasts to me, and they're like, I know for a fact that you would absolutely love this. Like, this is your type of thing. So I have like a list of podcasts that I need to check out. I think I'm going to start listening to those instead of like old, no, I can't say that, nostalgic music, yeah, to comfort me, because now that I know what I have to deal with it, I have to accept change. Change is inevitable in life. It's like you're always gonna have it, so you have to learn to embrace it and know that, you know, change can be good. It's not always negative. Just because it's been bad recently in my life, it doesn't mean it's always gonna be like this. So yeah, again, I don't know if any of that made sense, but I feel like I was just loaded and bombarded with all this information that I just wanted to like get it off my chest. And so yeah, I have quite a bit of anxiety. Now that I know that, I can work on it and move on from this. So yeah, that is what I will be up to in my life now. So yeah, all right, bye.